nah. What's my name?
Follow at What Would You and you be alright.
What's going on, family? Had to hit my little intro, my little 1-2 step, get y'all in the mood. Checking in with you, Justin Robertson. But would you? I'm going to teach you about this crypto game, but would you take the steps to actually taking action on it? So yeah, I'm just checking in with you guys, giving you a little update what's going on with the market. Bitcoin recently dropped down to $32,644 is where it's sitting at right now. I'll pull this up here for you. So yeah, 32,664 is where we're sitting at right now. We did see a drop down further than that. Last night we got all the way down to 31,669. So that's a drop down from 35,286 on the morning or on the start of that day yesterday. So we had a 10% drop in 24 hours. You can see on the right hand side all this red over here. So much red. So Bitcoin's down 8% right now over the past 24. And then let's see, what's one of the biggest losers? Dogecoin down 25% over the last 24. And let's see what else. One of my personal favorites, Chainlink, down 14%. So everything is pretty much down. Ethereum dropped down 13% on the day. It's hovering around 19,000. So depending on how you look at it, either it's a great time to get in and get some entries, or you're a little nervous and you're not sure what's going to happen next. So first I want to talk about what caused this crash, what caused us to kind of fall down to these levels. So let me bring this back up. So here's an article right here. Bitcoin sinks to 2-week low as China intensifies crypto mining crackdown. So we've known that China was going to be banning cryptocurrency mining over there for a little while now. They've been speaking about it. They've talked about banning crypto since like 2015. Every few years, every year really, they bring up that they're banning it. But this time, the difference is they actually took the steps to stop the crypto miners from being able to mine, stopping power into this one specific town or city. And I have to find it. I'll find it as we're going through this. So let's start with this article again. Bitcoin fell as low as 31,760 Monday morning, dropping below 32,000 for the first time since June 8th. If you guys remember, when we had a conversation on June 4th, it was on EYL. So shout out to my EYL members, the earners out there. Let me see if I can pull up one of those charts from that day. We talked about on that chart, the June chart. Oh, looks like I don't have it right here. I'm trying to pull it up over here. June chart. Oh, there it is. June 4th EYL. June 7th link. All right, I'll find this chart going back somewhere. Basically, we talked about that Bitcoin, if it didn't close above 42K, then we could see 42K, then we could see it sliding back down. It hasn't closed above 42K yet. It closed above 40K one time over the past since June 4th when we gave those updates. I said then that it could drop all the way down to 20K, and we still have those marks set. So still be aware of that. These type of things are what would cause it to actually happen. So these type of things in the market, China banning people from mining is a huge task rate because it drops the hash rate of Bitcoin down significantly. The hash rate dropped by 14%, I believe, overnight. So that's pretty huge. For the people that don't know, the hash rate is the transaction rate. So the transactions that actually get mined on the Bitcoin blockchain, the percentage that they were going at dropped 14%. So that's a lot. Again, I was talking about the city, and the city's name is Sichuan. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Sichuan, Sichuan. So let me read this little article here. Many Bitcoin mines in Sichuan were shuttered Sunday after authorities in the southwestern Chinese province ordered a halt to crypto mining, according to a report from the Communist Party-backed blah, blah, blah. More than 90% of China's Bitcoin mining capacity is estimated to be shut down, the paper said. So, yeah, that's a huge, huge amount. Let's read further down. Separately, the People's Bank of China said Monday it urged Alipay, the payment service run by Alibaba affiliate, and some major banks to crack down on crypto trading. So China's already banned financial institutions from providing crypto-related services. China often does this, CEO of crypto data firm Crypto Compare told CNBC. So just so you know, that's a quick update. First part of China, but we have a few more articles I want to let you know about in regards to China. Next one. China has long been the home for more than half the world's Bitcoin miners, but now Beijing wants them out ASAP. I believe this is the one where it talks about going into Texas. Yep, despite a lack of reserves that caused day-long blackouts last winter, Texas often has some of the world's lowest energy prices, and its share of renewables is growing over time, with 20% of its power coming from wind as of 2019. A lot of these miners that are leaving Sichuan are thinking about moving to Texas to set up their new mining rigs in Texas, because Texas has a cheap energy source. So most of the country works off of a government power source, but Texas actually still has a few private owners of power sources. And that's the reason why they can keep it a little bit cheaper. But just because it's cheaper, we know doesn't mean it's better, because obviously during the winter months, we saw that huge freeze out and loss of power down in Texas. And then now in the summer months, we're also seeing that Texas is losing power because of like the heat waves they're getting down there. So just because it's private and it's cheaper doesn't always mean it's better. And that's something that they're going to have to address, especially if all these miners decide to move to Texas. All right. So those are the two. So I'll read this right here, where they're going. Because miners at scale compete in low margin industries where their only variable cost is typically energy, they're incentivized to migrate to the world's cheapest source of power. One likely destination in China's next door neighbor, Kazakhstan. The country's coal mines provide a cheap and abundant energy supply. It also helps that Kazakhstan has a more lax attitude about building, which bodes well for miners who need to construct physical installations in short periods of time. So China is actually putting pressure on India as well to have them crack down on their mining as well, and their energy consumption when it comes to mining. Now, this is all leading up to one thing that we'll get to in this next article here. I'm just going to read this last part. Whether Kazakhstan is a destination or simply a stopover on a longer migration west remains to be seen. Oh man, I'm gonna mess this up. Arvanagi is bullish on North America and thinks the hash rate there will grow over the next few months. Texas not only has the cheapest electricity in the U.S., but some of the cheapest in the globe. He said it also is very easy to start a mining company. If you have 30 million, 40 million, you can be a premier miner in the United States. Wyoming. So we also know Wyoming passed a few tax laws that are very beneficial to cryptocurrency. So that's something to watch out for. If you don't know about them, just Google cryptocurrency taxes in Wyoming. So Wyoming has also trended toward being pro-Bitcoin and could be another mining destination, according to this gentleman here. So another thing I want to watch out for is to see what Miami is going to do. Obviously, we know Miami wants to be like the Bitcoin capital, wants to be the cryptocurrency capital for the United States as well as the world. So they've said, the mayor of Miami has also said. So there's something to look out for there. And then obviously we know in El Salvador they're doing they're using volcano energy, or I guess it's not volcano energy, but they're using energy that's produced by volcanoes to start powering crypto mining, and they're looking into that. So there's a lot going on that's changing the landscape of mining for cryptocurrency. So just something to keep an eye out for. All right, so I said that all this is leading up to something. I'm just scrolling through the bottom of this article really quick. So all this is leading up to something. For the people that didn't see Elizabeth Warren's address, where she was pretty much bashing cryptocurrency, saying how much energy it uses and how bad it is. She did all that kind of shutting it down to lead up to her saying, well, what about a CBDC? And for those that don't know, a CBDC is a central bank digital currency. So all these organizations across the world, all these governments across the world are going to start a CBDC, central banking digital currency. And this next article really opens up your eyes as to what's going on. So China's CBDC available for exchange via 3,000 ATMs in Beijing. This article was just posted 3 days ago. Okay, so you really want to understand why China is banning all these cryptocurrency minings, why they're not allowing it anymore, and while they're actually enacting on it, is because China sees two things happening. They see that America is weakening in the dollar, and they see inflation on the rise with us in America. And they also see that Bitcoin is starting to gain in popularity. People are starting to understand it more and understanding the power that it has as a store of value. China understands that Bitcoin is starting to look like they have a, what do they call it? A snowball's chance in hell. So, it's a very, very long shot, as most people would say, but they're seeing that Bitcoin does have a chance to become the global world currency reserve. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I believe so. So they see that Bitcoin could possibly become the global currency reserve, and China doesn't want that. America has been the power leader. The currencies, I got to figure out this term because I keep saying it wrong. But US dollar has pretty much been the strongest currency in the world for the past, X amount of years, 100 years. China wants the yuan to become the new global reserve currency. That's what it is. Global reserve currency. So China wants the yuan to become the new global, that one. And what they're doing is they're releasing a CBDC, so a central bank digital currency, a digital currency called the digital yuan, to its country. So we see here, ATMs allow exchange between digital and physical money. According to the media report, two major Chinese banks, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, and the Agricultural Bank of China, ABC, implemented a feature across their ATMs to allow their customers to exchange the new CBDC for physical cash. So they're allowing their customers to exchange their physical yuan for their digital currency yuan, with the option now available at more than 3,000 ATMs in the capital. So this is why China is shutting down Bitcoin miners and pushing them away. And this is why all this FUD is coming in, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And this is why the price of crypto is dropping. Because these countries are realizing that Bitcoin has a chance now to actually become the global reserve currency of the world. And they don't want that. They want to be standing front in line. So when you see the United States talking about CBDCs and you see China talking about CBDCs, and eventually you'll see other countries talking about them as well, the reasoning why is because they see the power in Bitcoin and they are trying to get ahead of it. So they will continue to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt throughout this time frame of Bitcoin to continue dropping the price lower and making people think it's not actually as strong as it is and it can't actually do the things it says it can do. All in the meanwhile in the efforts just to push their agenda, which is the CBDC, a central bank digital currency. So you really need to understand that and watch out for that. Another huge part about this is look at what China is doing. They're offering a lottery incentive. In June, Beijing Local Financial Supervision and Administration Bureau announced a lottery for CNY 440, basically for $6.2 million US. Available to 200,000 of the city's residents, with the lottery winnings payable in the digital currency. So they're trying to hype up their digital currency. They're trying to get people to get away from, and when we say digital currency, it's cryptocurrency. That's what they're creating. China is creating a cryptocurrency. America is creating a cryptocurrency. They're calling it a CBDC because they don't want to say cryptocurrency is good and have you invest in other well-known cryptos. So they're just calling it a CBDC, centralized bank digital currency, but really it's a cryptocurrency. So what China is doing is they're offering a $6.2 million lottery for anyone that wants to, for 200,000 city residents that want to enter, and it will be paid out in China's cryptocurrency. Let's call it what it is. Similar initiatives have already taken place in other major cities in the country, like Shenzhen, China's major tech hub, where in October 2020, a lottery distributed more than 1.5 million in winnings paid in digital yuan to around 50,000 city residents. So you guys see what's happening here. They're hating, shitting on, whatever you want to call it, on Bitcoin and major cryptos because they're trying to push their incentive to have theirs as the leading source. So China even put authorities in the SAR, Special Administrative Region of Macau, under pressure for wider adoption of the digital yuan across the gambling hub. All right, so that is that. And then this last article just says China speeds towards CBDC future despite crypto's murky advantages. So despite that crypto has better advantages because it's a decentralized platform that allows peer-to-peer transactions, they're still trying to say that the CBDC is better. So I'm going to make a video comparing what CBDCs allow and what a regular cryptocurrency allows. And I think it'll be very, very eye-opening. But let's go here. Looking more deeply at CBDCs, CoinGeek reported that in Tanzania, the president of the country has asked the central bank to look into digital assets to be deployed in financial services. What else do we have here? So that's just a touch. I just wanted to touch base on what is going on, right? So we know the price is going up. We know the price is going down, but this will allow us to understand what's going on behind just the price. Now, again, I wanted to, for the people that don't know, I know a lot of people are already educated on, financial instruments and how they work. But me personally, I wasn't always the most educated on them. So for the people that are not, let me just go ahead and tell you, we were in the same boat. So I Google a lot of things, right? So why is it important to become the world's reserve currency? Many countries, and this is why, right? Many countries cannot borrow money or pay for foreign goods in their own currencies. Since much of international trade is done in dollars and therefore need to hold reserves to ensure a steady supply of imports during a crisis and assure creditors that the debt payments denominated in foreign currency can be made. This is a little bit clearer here. A reserve currency reduces exchange rates risks since there's no need for a country to exchange its currency for the reserve currency to be traded, to do trade. Reserve currency helps facilitate global transactions, including investments and international debt obligations. So there's a book that I suggest. There's an audio book you can read. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island, right? This book right here, The Creature from Jekyll Island. I'm listening to it right now on audio. And it really breaks down the kind of like history of money, how it works, how it was created, and it gives you a very deep understanding of what governments do with debt and how they restructure debt to create money. So after reading that book, it's even more eye-opening to me to read this last sentence here. Reserve currency helps facilitate global transactions, including investments and international debt obligations. So, do your own research in regards to that, and we'll have more conversations here about it. But that's the first part. I just wanted to give you an update in regards to the market, what's going on, and how it's being played out. Now, this last part, we'll just go through a little bit of the charting and kind of see what's on the horizon or see where we might end up. As I'm switching screens over here, guys, if you could, hashtag don't forget to pay. Like, share, subscribe for me. I mean, I try to give out the free content as much as possible. The only way I ask for you to pay for it is if you could just please like, share, and subscribe. So hashtag don't forget to pay. Comment, hashtag paid in full. Let me know that you're rocking with me. All right, so now we got back over here. We got Bitcoin. Boom. And we said a while back that if Bitcoin did not close above this 42K level, then it could see 20K. So I have these two purple lines set, the highest one at 42, the lowest one at 21. And basically what I wanted to show you was that since we said on June 4th, Bitcoin has went from 39K, the highest it reached was up to 41, and now it's dropped all the way down to 32,300. So we're down about 17% since June 4th when we last spoke in regards. Hey, James, paid in full. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Everyone be more like James, Just all you got to do is like. It's easy and free. It's literally the easiest thing you could do. All right, anyway. So 17% we're down right now. And let's say we do get a drop further down and we go from the top that we were at, which was about 42K, all the way down to our 20K mark. So we still have a 47, almost 50% correction ahead of us. There's no reason to panic, guys. We just went over. I just spent like 10 minutes going over why we're dropping, what is going on. We can see a reversal at any time. You have to remember that institutional investors are looking to get in down around these levels. this is where the institutional investors want to buy, even lower if they can, right? So we know that these assets are going to drop down. I'll show you this chart I pulled up as well. This is SPY chart, so it maps the S&P 500 with like a ETF trust, and this trend line. Let me remove this here. I want to shoot. This is what I want to remove. Okay. So inside these two black lines, this is a weekly chart, by the way. We're on a weekly chart right now. So since the week ending March 23rd, 2020, right when the pandemic started popping off, we can see that this was our low and we drew a trend line up. We just now, for the first time since March 2020, have the S&P 500 breaking below our trend line. The reason that's a big deal is because if it continues to break below that trend line, we could look for it to fall all the way down to this level at 379. Right now it's at 420. So that is a pretty big deal in regards to the stock market, because we haven't seen these levels hit since March 2020. It hasn't broken this trend line at all. So if we're getting a pullback from the pandemic and all the inflation and all the money coming in, then if the stock market starts to drop, expect Bitcoin to drop even further. You know, I already see that we're going to hit these 30,000 levels, this 30,600. I see us hitting that within the next few days. But if we want to get down to 20K, then the S&P 500, if it drops under this trend line further, it's going to cause a cascading effect over to Bitcoin, causing it to drop as well. Now let's go down to a day chart and let me see what we saw here. So James said, if we follow that trend line down, is that where we can hope for Bitcoin to hit near 20K? So let's go back and answer James's question right now. So yeah, James, basically what this shows is, here's our trend line going down, right? This is our trend line going down. And we can see we've bounced around. We hit this trend line. We pushed back down. Since we didn't get a pop, maybe pop's not the right word. Since we didn't get a bounce, right? Since we didn't get a bounce off our bottom trend line down here, normally we would get a bounce. You see here, we hit it. We bounced back up. We came down here. We bounced back up. We did not get a bounce here. So our next bounce I would be looking for is at my 30,000 level here. And if we continue to fall through that, we would go down to our 27 level. Now, we're on a daily chart, right? So because we're on a daily chart, we got these. What's going to happen is these bars will play out. So that's another day for a bar. That's another day for a bar. This could be another day. This could be another day. Then we could get a day where we shoot up a little bit and then we come back down. And all these little black lines are those would be considered these bars here. So assuming that those continue to play out, what we could expect to see is possibly dropping down, hitting this line, maybe getting a little bit of a bounce up, hitting that line, getting a bounce back down, hitting this line, bounce back up. And now this is our trend line up that we would need to break through to try to get back to bullish momentum. But the fundamental analysis of Bitcoin and other projects hasn't changed. That's the important part to remember, guys. The fundamental part of this has not changed. This is still a solid project. Bitcoin is still going to change the world. And this is a perfect segue into what else I wanted to show you. So again, we're on a daily chart right now. And then I showed you the S&P here. This is a daily chart for it. And you can see up here at the top where it broke. See now, this is where it broke down. And they're trying to hold this trend line, which is what we need for Bitcoin to stay stable and not fall too much further. And now this is a monthly chart of Bitcoin. And if we look back on the monthly view, the macro view, back in 2016, or let's go to 2017, June 1st, 2017, we're at $1,000. 4 years later, June 1st, we're at 32,000. Okay, so understand the macro view. Don't get caught in the trap that, oh my God, Bitcoin's crashing, the world is over. You buy, you hold, you wait. And what I do is I update you with, okay, this is what's going on. Don't sell because of this reason. Hey, this is what's going on. This is why you should buy. Hey, this coin doesn't have great fundamentals. It got audited, and in the audit, it showed that the code is actually bad and the code doesn't do what it really does. Don't buy this coin. all you need to do is find a few people that you think you can rely on and trust. They're not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be right. But if you can stick with it and understand this is the macro view, like look back here again, June 1st, 2017, we're at $1,000, $2,000. June 1st, 2021, we're at $32,000. We could get a fall down again to 25K right around here. We could get a fall down to 20K right around here. And even if those things happened, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, because in the long run, it's going to go back up. So I just wanted to show you really quick what's going on currently right now, what's going on with the stock market, because again, the stock market can help dictate what's going to happen with us in the crypto market. Just because, if people are pulling their money out of stocks, they're going to pull their money out of crypto. It's just the nature of things. This is, again, the macro view that we have here, the bigger picture. We started down here 4 years ago. Now we're right here, 30K. And, in my opinion, we're here right now in 2021. Let's go forward 4 years to 2025. In June 2025, let's say we're up here. June 2025, we're sitting around here. Okay, so if that's the case, then that means from June 17 to here, look at that, 1,461 days, and we're up 20,000%. And then the same thing, if we do the same idea, and we go from here, June 1st, 2021, and we go over here, boom, we'll go up 191% and gain $63,000. So, the gains are still there to be made. And I did 100,000 as where we would get, and in my personal opinion, we would be a lot further than that. But even on the low end, you can still see there's a 200% gain coming. The reason why I'm saying right now that we stay in these more solid assets like Bitcoin, projects that have good FA, like Bitcoin right here, is because they're going to last longer. We know they're going to be around for the long term. I have some other coins that I'm really invested in, like CWAP, DeFi, what are some other ones? RSR. Now, these projects they might not have enough money to make it long term, but we know Bitcoin will. So we're hoping that our altcoins make it long term. The ones that are super solid for me, in my mind, Chainlink, Cardano, Luna, Ethereum, obviously. These coins will make it long term. Some other projects that don't have as solid fundamentals may not. And that's for you to make your decision whether you want to hold them, whether you want to swap them. But in my opinion, you can't go wrong with buying and holding Bitcoin long term, and the other coins that have great fundamental analysis long term. All right, so that was just a quick update. Wanted to let you guys know what was going on, how everything is living out there. If you have questions, hit me up on IG. If you could, again, don't forget to like, comment, pay. That's how you pay. Hashtag don't forget to pay. Talk to y'all on Telegram. Talk to y'all on IG. And yeah, have a great day, my peoples. See y'all soon.